So, if you've been on this journey of trying to start a family and suddenly get hit with the term sperm DNA fragmentation, I get it. It can be super confusing, maybe even a little scary. It's this diagnosis that goes way beyond the usual numbers, and it can really leave you feeling kind of lost. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down, what it is, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
Does this sound familiar? This is a quote that fertility dietitians hear constantly. You feel like you're doing everything great. You've cleaned up your diet, you're exercising, and then you're faced with this brand new hurdle. It is such a frustrating spot to be in, but I promise you, the good news is there are more answers. They're often just hiding in the little details of your diet and lifestyle.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. Before we can talk about the solution, we've got to get a really clear picture of the problem itself. We're going to move past just talking about sperm count or how well they swim and look at the actual quality of the precious cargo inside.
So what even is it? Well, in the simplest terms, it's damage to the DNA that's packed inside the sperm. And I love this analogy. Think of that DNA as the complete instruction manual for building a healthy baby. Now, if the pages in that manual are torn or the ink is smudged or whole chunks are missing, well, you can see how it would be really hard for a healthy embryo to develop properly. And the tricky part is, this can be happening even when the sperm count and movement look totally fine on paper.
So what on earth is tearing the pages of this manual? Well, in most cases, the main culprit is something happening inside the body called oxidative stress. And trust me, understanding this one concept is the absolute key to fighting back.
Oxidative stress is really just a game of balance. On one side of the scale, you have these things called free radicals. You can think of them as the attackers. They're these unstable molecules bouncing around, causing damage to cells, including the DNA inside sperm. But on the other side, you have antioxidants. These are your defenders. Their whole job is to find and neutralize the attackers. Oxidative stress is simply what happens when the attackers start to outnumber and overwhelm your body's defenses.
And what brings more of these attackers to the fight? Well, it's a list of things that probably won't surprise you. Smoking and drinking too much are huge ones, but so are things like chronic stress, not getting enough good quality sleep, and even just things that cause overheating down there, like wearing really tight clothes all the time or spending a lot of time in hot tubs or saunas.
Okay, so that was the problem. But here's the crucial part. This is not a one-way street. You can absolutely fight back against oxidative stress, and believe it or not, one of your most powerful weapons is sitting right there in your kitchen.
Your first line of defense is to basically flood your system with those defender molecules, antioxidants. This means packing your plate with as many colorful fruits and vegetables as you can. We're talking berries, oranges, dark leafy greens like spinach, bell peppers, you get the idea. These foods are just loaded with critical nutrients like vitamin C, vitamin E, and carotenoids, which have all been shown to help protect sperm quality.
Now, out of all those all-stars, let's just zoom in on one for a second, the humble tomato. Why? Because tomatoes are packed with a powerhouse antioxidant called lycopene, and studies have directly linked it to reducing sperm DNA damage. And here's a little pro tip for you. Your body can actually absorb lycopene even better from cooked tomatoes, so things like tomato paste and sauces are an amazing source.
And just how powerful is this one nutrient? Check this out. A study from the University of Sheffield found that men who took a lycopene supplement for just 3 months saw up to a 40% reduction in their sperm DNA fragmentation. That is a huge potential improvement from just one single targeted change.
Of course, it's not just about lycopene. Other nutrients play super important roles too. Omega-3 fatty acids, which you find in fatty fish like salmon or in walnuts and chia seeds, they help reduce inflammation and protect the actual structure of the sperm cell. Then there's zinc, which is absolutely vital for the body's natural DNA repair team. You'll find that in pumpkin seeds. And selenium, found in Brazil nuts and eggs, is another one of those incredible antioxidants that helps shield sperm from damage.
All right, so you see how this is all starting to build. A nutrient-rich diet is the foundation for sure, but it really works best when you pair it with other supportive lifestyle habits.
So here are 5 really key adjustments. Number 1, smoking. If you or your partner smoke, addressing that is honestly the single most impactful thing you can do. 2, prioritize sleep. It's not a luxury, it's essential. 3, keep things cool down there. The testes are outside the body for a reason, they like it a little cooler. 4, exercise smartly. Regular, moderate exercise is fantastic, but overdoing it with super high-intensity training can actually increase oxidative stress temporarily. And finally, number 5, Find ways to de-stress, because those high cortisol levels are no friend to sperm quality.
So you're ready to start making all these amazing changes? That is fantastic. But you're probably wondering, when can I expect to see a difference? This is where we need to have a little chat about the biology of how sperm are actually made.
This timeline shows you exactly why patience is a virtue here. You see, it takes about 74 days, that's roughly 3 months, for a single sperm cell to go from a tiny stem cell to being fully mature. So what does that mean? It means the changes you make today, they won't show up in a test tomorrow. You have to be consistent for about 3 months to allow a completely new, healthier batch of sperm to be made in that new and improved environment you've created. Patience is everything.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. A high sperm DNA fragmentation score isn't just some isolated fertility issue. It's often a sign from your body about your overall whole body health. And that's actually the empowering part. By making these changes, eating better, sleeping more, stressing less, you're not just trying to fix a number on a lab report. You are fundamentally improving your overall health, and a byproduct of that is creating the best possible foundation for healthy sperm.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. This doesn't have to be some massive overnight life overhaul. Maybe it's just adding a handful of walnuts to your breakfast. Maybe it's turning off your phone an hour before bed. What is one small, totally achievable change you can commit to starting today to begin protecting that precious instruction manual?